The turkey was perfect. 20 pounds, golden brown, sitting in the center of Mom's dining table like a centerpiece from a magazine. I'd been up since 5 a.m. helping her prepare it, brining, seasoning, basting every 45 minutes. My sister Natalie arrived at 2 p.m. with her fiancé Brandon, both wearing matching designer sweaters that probably cost more than my monthly grocery budget. "Oh good, you're here," Natalie said when she saw me in the kitchen. Not hi, not happy Thanksgiving. Just acknowledgement that I'd shown up to help. As expected. "Branda!" Mom rushed over to hug them. "You both look wonderful. How's the wedding planning going?" "Incredible," Natalie beamed. "The venue is finalized. The caterer is booked. My dress came in last week. It's all coming together. 3 more weeks." Mom clapped her hands. "I can't believe my baby girl is getting married." Natalie was 29. But I'd always been relegated to the other daughter while Natalie was the baby girl. "Megan, can you grab the wine from my car?" Natalie held out her keys, without looking at me. "It's in the trunk." "Don't shake it." I took the keys, went outside, retrieved 4 bottles of expensive Pinot Noir from her Tesla Thwan Brandon's parents had given them as an early wedding gift. By the time I came back, the house was full. Uncle Jim and Aunt Carol with their 2 teenagers, Mom's best friend Patricia, my cousin Vanessa, and her husband. 15 people total, all gathering in the living room with appetizers I'd spent 3 hours making that morning. "Megan," Aunt Carol hugged me. "How are you, sweet? Still doing the freelance thing?" "Yeah, still freelancing." "That's so brave. I could never handle the instability." She said it like a compliment, but it landed like pity. Natalie appeared beside us with a glass of the wine I'd just carried in. "Oh, Megan's used to instability. She's been finding herself for 6 years now?" 7, I said quietly. "Right? 7. Since college. Still haven't figured out what you want to be when you grow up." She laughed, and a few people nearby smiled uncomfortably. I helped Mom set the table, carried dishes, poured water. The things I always did while Natalie held court in the living room, talking about her job at the marketing firm, her wedding plans, her perfect life. When we finally sat down for dinner, Dad at the head of the table, Mom at the foot, I ended up squeezed between Vanessa and her husband at the far end, while Natalie and Brandon sat in the positions of honor next to our parents. "Dad," said Grace. We passed dishes, and then, inevitably, the conversation turned to careers. Brandon just made senior analyst. Natalie announced, squeezing his hand, youngest person in his company to reach that level. "That's wonderful," Patricia said. "You two are quite the power couple." "We try," Natalie laughed. "It's all about ambition. You know, setting goals and crushing them." She looked down the table at me when she said it, and Natalie just got promoted to marketing director. Mom added proudly, $95,000 salary. "Plus bonuses," Natalie interjected. "Should be over 6 figures this year." Everyone congratulated her. I focused on my mashed potatoes. "What about you, Megan?" Uncle Jim asked. "How's the freelance work going?" "It's going well. Steady clients, enough to live on." "What do you do again?" Vanessa's husband asked. "Graphic design, logo work, branding, web design, some illustration." "Oh, that's nice." The way he said it made it clear he thought it was a hobby, not a real job. "The gig economy is so unreliable though," Natalie said, cutting her turkey with surgical precision. "No benefits, no security, no retirement plan. I could never live like that." "Natalie," Mom said softly, "let's not." "What?" "I'm just being honest. Megan needs to hear this. She's 31 years old and still doesn't have a real career path." "I have a career," I said. "I support myself." "Barely," Natalie muttered, loud enough for everyone to hear. The table got quiet. "What's that supposed to mean?" I asked. Natalie set down her fork. "It means you're always just scraping by, always stressed about money, Always talking about client payments and late invoices. That's not a career, that's chaos. I manage just fine. Do you? She tilted her head. Because I remember you asking Mom for help with your car insurance last year, my face burned. I had asked Mom about car insurance, about whether I qualified for a family discount. Mom had offered to help, I'd declined. But Natalie had twisted it into me, begging for money. That's not what happened. I started. The point is, Natalie continued, talking over me. You're 31, and you're still figuring out your life. Meanwhile, some of us have our shit together. Natalie? Language, Dad said, weakly. Sorry, Dad. But it's true. Look at Brandon and me. We have good jobs. We're getting married. We just put a down payment on a house. We're building a life. What are you building, Megan? I took a breath, held it, let it out slowly. I'm building my business, Premier Saeed calmly. Your business. She used air quotes. You mean your freelance gigs that you do from your laptop at coffee shops? A few people laughed nervously. I work from home, actually. Right. Your studio apartment, what is it, 500 square feet? 650? Oh, excuse me, 650 square feet of living space. Meanwhile, Brandon and I just closed on a 2,200 square foot condo with 2 parking spaces. That's wonderful for you, I said, my voice still calm. It is wonderful. Because we worked hard. We made smart decisions. We didn't waste time finding ourselves with artsy hobbies. Graphic design isn't a hobby, it's my profession. It's a profession for people who work at agencies. For people with steady salaries and benefits. What you're doing is just... She waved her hand dismissively. Gig work. Side hustle stuff. Uncle Jim cleared his throat. I think what Natalie's trying to say is that she's worried about you. Megan, we all are. No, that's not what Natalie was saying at all. But everyone nodded, anyway. I don't need anyone to worry about me, I said. But we do worry, Mom said gently. You work so hard, sweetie, and you never seem to get ahead. I'm doing fine. Are you though? Natalie asked. When was the last time you took a vacation? Or bought something nice for yourself? Or even went out to dinner somewhere that wasn't Chipotle? Brandon laughed at that. Actually laughed. I went to Portland last spring, I said quietly. For work, Natalie countered. For a client meeting, that doesn't count. She was right. It had been for work, but I'd stayed an extra day and explored the city. That had to count for something. The problem with freelancing, Brandon said, speaking up for the first time, is that you're always trading time for money. You can't scale. You can't build equity. It's a dead-end career path. Brandon's absolutely right, Natalie said. You're smart, Megan. You could get a real job if you tried. Something with a salary, benefits. A 401k. But instead you're choosing to struggle. I'm not struggling. Then why do you dress like that? She gestured at my sweater, a perfectly nice navy blue sweater from Target that I bought on sale for $18. Like what? Like you shop at, I don't even know where. Walmart, Target. Same thing. Brandon and I budget for professional wardrobes, because how you present yourself matters. I looked at her designer sweater, the one that probably cost $300. And I smiled. You're right, I said. Presentation matters. Exactly. So maybe it's time to invest in yourself. Get some professional clothes. Update your resume. Apply for real positions at real companies. I'll think about it. Please do. Because honestly, Megan, it's embarrassing. The word hung in the air. Embarrassing? I repeated. I mean, Natalie looked around the table like she wanted witnesses. How do you think it looks when people ask me about my sister, and I have to explain that she is a freelance graphic designer who lives in a tiny apartment and drives a Honda? Honda. You could just say I'm a graphic designer. But that's misleading. That makes it sound like you work for a real company. I have to explain the whole freelance thing, and people always look at me with pity, like, oh, your poor sister. Natalie, that's enough, Dad said. It's not enough. Someone needs to be honest with her. She's wasting her potential. She's useless. The word landed like a slap. Useless. 15 people at the table, 14 of them staring at me with varying degrees of pity and discomfort. I set down my fork carefully, pulled out my phone. What are you doing? Natalie asked, checking something. I opened my banking app, navigated to my automatic payments. Found the ones I was looking for. Natalie's rent, $2,850 per month. Paid 2 Riverside luxury apartments for the past 28 months. Her car insurance, $167 per month. Progressive insurance, her credit card minimum payments. 3 cards, $245, $180, and $127 per month. Her gym membership, $89 per month. Equinox. Her therapist sessions, $200 per month. Dr. Sarah Chun's office, her wedding photographer deposit, $2,500 paid in March. Her wedding venue, final payment, $8,700. Paid in September. Her wedding dress alterations, $450, and paid last week. Total monthly recurring payments, $3,658. Total payments over 28 months, $102,424. Total one-time payments for wedding expenses, $17,039. Grand total, $119,463. I looked up from my phone. Everyone was watching me. You're right, Natalie, I said, my voice perfectly calm. I should make better financial decisions. Finally, she gets it, Natalie said to Brandon. I started canceling payments. Rent payment, 2 Riverside luxury apartments, canceled. Next scheduled payment, December 1st. Status, will not be processed. Car insurance automatic payment, canceled. Credit card minimum payments, all 3, canceled. Gym membership, canceled. Therapy copays canceled. My phone was still in my hand when Natalie's phone buzzed on the table. She glanced at it, frowned. It buzzed again. She picked it up, looked at the screen. Her face went pale. What the hell? Problem? I asked. My rent payment. She was scrolling frantically. It says it was canceled, but I have autopay set up. You did have autopay set up, I said. On my credit card, I just canceled it. The table went completely silent. What? Natalie's voice was barely a whisper. Your rent, $2,850 a month. I've been paying it for 28 months. That's $79,800. Mom dropped her fork. It clattered against her plate. You've been paying her rent, that? Asketh. Since February 2022. When she moved into that luxury apartment and realized she and Brandon couldn't afford it on their own. Brandon's face had gone red. That's not we could afford. No, you couldn't. Your combined income was $142,000. After taxes, student loans, car payments, and lifestyle expenses, you were short about $3,000 a month. Natalie asked me to help out temporarily with the rent. Temporarily, Natalie said weakly. 28 months isn't temporary. It's 2 years and 4 months. I pulled up my spreadsheet, the one I'd been maintaining meticulously since the day I made the first payment. February 2022 through now, I said, showing the screen to no one in particular. Every payment documented. Date, amount, confirmation number. Why didn't you say anything, Mom? Ask it. I tried. Multiple times. But every time I brought it up, Natalie said it would just be a few more months. That Brandon was up for a promotion, that they'd pay me back soon. I looked at Natalie. You told me 6 months ago that you were getting a raise and you'd start paying me back in July. It's November. I haven't seen a penny. We had wedding expenses. Natalie started. Yes, wedding expenses that I paid for. The photographer deposit, $2,500. The venue, final payment, $8,700. Your dress alterations. $450. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. You paid for her wedding? Aunt Carol asked. Parts of it? She said her savings were tied up and asked if I could cover some deposits. Said she'd pay me back after the wedding. I will pay you back. Natalie's voice was shrill now. I don't want your money. Then what do you want? I want you to understand what you've been calling useless. I turned my phone to show everyone at the table the spreadsheet, every payment, every expense, 28 months of rent, $79,800. Car insurance, $4,676 credit card minimum payments, because yes, I've been paying those too when you couldn't make ends meet $15,456. Gym membership, $2,492. Therapy copes, $5,600. Wedding expenses, $17,039. Jesus Christ, Uncle Jim muttered. Total amount I've paid to support my sister's lifestyle, while she called my career a joke and my life embarrassing. $119,463. Natalie was shaking. You can't just cancel everything I can. Actually, they're my payments, my credit card, my bank account. But my rent is due next week, December 1st. Yes. You'll need to make that payment yourself. $2,850. Hope you have it in your checking account. We don't. We have the house down payment in savings. We can't touch that. Then I guess you'll need to figure something out. Like I've been figuring it out every month for 28 months. Brandon's phone buzzed. He looked at it. His face went gray. What? Natalie grabbed his phone. Read the screen. No. 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 What is it? Mom, Askid. Askid. The car insurance? Brandon said quietly. It's canceling our policy. We have 7 days to find new coverage or the car is uninsured. Also, I said, I should mention the wedding photographer called me last week asking about the final payment. $3,200. Due 2 weeks before the wedding. I told them to contact you directly for payment. Natalie's eyes widened. You didn't pay it? No. Why would I? I'm useless, remember. I don't have a real job. I can barely support myself. How could I possibly have $3,200 for your wedding photographer? Megan pleased. The venue also called. They need the final catering payment. $4,800. Due 1 week before the wedding. You told me you'd cover that. I said I'd try to help. Then you spent Thanksgiving dinner calling me embarrassing and useless in front of our entire family. So I've decided not to help. My phone buzzed. A text from Natalie's photographer. Hi Megan, following up on the final payment. Can you confirm receipt? We need this settled by Friday to guarantee our services for the wedding. I showed Natalie the text. You have 4 days to pay them. Otherwise they're canceling. I don't have $3,200. Then cancel the photographer. Use someone cheaper, or have Uncle Jim do it. Here is pretty good with his iPhone. This is my wedding. Yes, your wedding, not mine. Which is why you should probably be paying for it. Dad stood up. Megan, I think you need to calm down. I am calm. Dad, I'm very calm. I am calmly explaining that I will no longer be funding Natalie's lifestyle while she mocks my career and calls me useless. We didn't know you were paying for all this. Mom said. Yes, you did. Natalie told you 2 years ago that I was helping with her rent. You saw it? It was sweet of me to support my sister. Mom's face crumpled. And last Christmas, when Natalie was stressed about wedding costs, I mentioned I'd helped with some deposits. You said I was being such a good sister? We thought you'd helped with like a few $100. Dad said weakly. $119,463 is not a few $100s. It's my entire savings for the past 3 years. It's the down payment on a house. It's a new car. It's my retirement fund. It's my financial security. I stood up from the table, and I spent it on my sister. The one who just told 15 people that I am embarrassing and useless, and do want to have a real career. Mego, I didn't mean Natalie tried. Yes, you did. You meant every word. Because if you didn't mean it, you would have defended me when Brandon laughed. You would have stopped Aunt Carol from pitying me. You would have at least said thank you for the $119,463 I've given you. I'm saying thank you now. 2 years too late. I grabbed my coat from the back of my chair. Where are you going? Mom asked. Home. 2. My embarrassing 650 square foot apartment, where I'll do my useless freelance work in my Walmart clothes. Megan, please stay. We can talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. Natalie made her feelings clear, and I've made my decision clear. I'm done. You can't just leave on Thanksgiving, Dad said. Watch me. I walked to the door. Behind me. Chaos erupted. Natalie, crying. Brandon on his phone, presumably calling the apartment complex. Mom, begging me to come back. Dad, angry that I was making a scene. Aunt Carol followed me outside. Megan, wait. I stopped at my car, the 12-year-old Honda that Natalie had used as proof of my failure. I just want you to know, Aunt Carol said quietly, I had no idea about any of it. If I'd known, you would have what? Told Natalie to stop taking advantage of me. Yes, exactly that. She put her hand on my arm. What she said in there was cruel. And what she's been doing to you for 2 years is exploitation. I know. Do you? Because you let it happen. I let it happen because she's my sister and I thought family helped family. Family does help family, but family doesn't bleed family dry and then mock them for being generous. I unlocked my car. Do you need anything? Aunt Carol asked. Money. A place to stay. A sympathetic ear. I need my family to see me as more than an ATM. Some of us do, sweetie. Some of us always have seuhemi. Then I drove home to my tiny apartment and my useless career and my embarrassing life, and I felt lighter than I'd felt in years. 1 week later, the text started within hours of me leaving Thanksgiving dinner. Natalie, please call me. We need to talk. Mom, sweetheart, please come home. Let's discuss this rationally. Brandon, Megan, I didn't know about the extent of your contributions. Can we meet? Dad, you embarrassed your sister in front of the whole family. This is unacceptable. I didn't respond to any of them. What I did do was change my phone number, sent the new one only to Aunt Carol, Vanessa, and a few friends. The wedding was in 2 weeks. I knew because my old phone, which I silenced but kept active blowing up with increasingly desperate messages. Day 1. Please reconsider. This is my wedding. Day 3. The photographer canceled. We're trying to find someone else, but everyone's booked. Day 5. The catering company is threatening to cancel if we do UNT pay by tomorrow. Day 7. The wedding might have to be postponed. Is that what you want? Day 9. How can you do this to me? You're my sister. Day 10. A voicemail from Mom, crying, begging me to fix this. Day 12. A text from Brandon's mother. Whatever family dispute you're having, please don't punish Brandon. He's innocent in all this. I didn't respond to that one either. Day 14. The day the wedding was supposed to happen, I spent it getting a massage, having a nice dinner, and watching a movie in my tiny, embarrassing apartment. My old phone buzzed once that day. A text from Vanessa. Wedding postponed indefinitely. Natalie says venue issues. Just thought you should know. Venue issues. That was one way to phrase couldn't afford the final payment. 1 month later, I got a call from an unknown number on my new phone. Against my better judgment, I answered. Megan. Who is this? It's Brandon. How did you get this number? Vanessa gave it to me. Please, don't hang up. I waited. I need to talk to you. About what happened? About ... everything. I don't think we have anything to discuss. Please, just coffee. 30 minutes. I'll be. Something in his voice made me agree. We met at a Starbucks halfway between my apartment and his condo. He looked different, tired, older, somehow. Thank you for coming, he said when I sat down. You have 30 minutes. He took a breath. I didn't know about the payments. Not the full extent. Natalie told me you were helping with rent temporarily, but I thought you'd stopped months ago. I didn't stop. I just stopped telling her how much it was costing me. She's been lying to me. About the money, about the wedding costs, about everything. He ran his hands through his hair. We're in marriage counseling now. Before the marriage, because I found out she'd been hiding credit card debt, about $23,000 worth. I wasn't surprised. The wedding is canceled, he continued. Not postponed, canceled. We can't afford it. We couldn't afford it before, and we definitely can't afford it now without your help. Good. He looked up sharply. Good. He repeated. Yes, good. If you can't afford a wedding, you shouldn't have one. You should have a courthouse ceremony and a nice dinner, like normal people. Natalie wanted. I don't care what Natalie wanted. Natalie wanted a lot of things she couldn't afford, and she expected me to pay for them. I know, and I'm sorry. I should have questioned it. Should have asked where the money was coming from. Why didn't you? He was quiet for a moment, because it was easier not to. Because we were living above our means, and your money let us keep doing it. At least he was honest. The apartment lease is up in February, he said. We're moving. Somewhere cheaper. We can't afford $2,850 a month on our own. You never could. I know that now. He met my eyes. I'm sorry, Megan. Truly. What we did to you was wrong. What Natalie said to you was unforgivable. Yes, it was. Is there any way he started? No. You don't know what I was going to ask. You were going to ask if there's any way I'd consider helping again, or forgiving Natalie, or coming to some smaller, cheaper wedding. The answer is no. No. He nodded slowly. I figured. But I had to try. Why? For Natalie. For both of us. But mostly because I feel guilty. I benefited from your generosity while watching Natalie treat you like garbage. That makes me complicit. It does. I want to pay you back. I don't want your money. Megan, it's $119,000. $119,463. And I don't want it. What I wanted was respect. Appreciation. Basic human decency. You can't pay me back for that. Then what can I do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just leave me alone and let me move on with my life. I stood up to leave. For what it's worth, Brandon said, you were right. About all of it. The apartment, the lifestyle, the wedding. We were living a fantasy on your dime, and you calling us out at Thanksgiving was the wake-up call we needed. I'm glad my financial exploitation could be a learning experience for you. That came out wrong. No. It came out exactly right. You learned a valuable lesson. At my expense? Literally. I picked up my coffee. Enjoy your cheaper apartment and your courthouse wedding. I hope it teaches you to live within your means. I left him sitting there. 3 months later, my business was thriving. Turned out, when you're not spending $3,600 a month supporting your sister's lifestyle, you have energy to focus on your own career. I'd landed 3 major clients, raised my rates by 30%, started turning down projects that didn't align with my vision. I'd also started dating someone I met at a co-working space. His name was Alex. He ran a small software company, and he thought my freelance career was badass. You're your own boss, he'd said on our second date. You set your own hours, choose your own clients, build something that's entirely yours. That takes courage. It was the first time anyone had called my career courageous instead of unstable. We were having dinner at his apartment when my old phone, which I still checked occasionally, buzzed with a call from Natalie. You still monitor that? Alex asked. Morbid curiosity. Are you going to answer? No. But I'm curious what she wants 3 months later. The call went to voicemail. A minute later, a voicemail notification appeared. Want to listen to it? Alex asked. Is that weird? Little bit, but I'm curious too. I put it on speaker. Natalie's voice. Megan, it's me. I know you don't want to hear from me. I know you probably deleted this number, but I need to tell you something. Brandon and I broke up. The wedding is off permanently. We're selling the condo. I'm moving back in with Mom and Dad. She paused. I could hear her breathing. I fucked up. I know that now. I used you. I took advantage of your generosity. I called you useless and embarrassing when you were the only person holding my life together. Another pause. My therapist says I was projecting, that I felt insecure about my own finances and my own choices, so I put you down to make myself feel better. She says I was exhibiting narcissistic behavior. I don't know if that's true, but I know I was cruel. Her voice cracked. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You deserved better. You deserved a sister who appreciated you, who valued you, who at least said thank you. A long silence. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't even expect you to listen to this whole message. I just wanted you to know that I understand what I did. And I'm sorry. And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're happy. You deserve to be happy. The voicemail ended. Alex looked at me. How do you feel? I don't know. Do you believe her? I thought about it. I believe she's sorry. I don't know if she's sorry for what she did or sorry for the consequences. That's fair. And honestly, it doesn't matter. Because I'm done. Done. She had years to apologize. Years to appreciate me. Years to see me as a person instead of a resource. She only sees it now because the resource is gone. Alex reached across the table and squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you. For what? For knowing your worth, for setting boundaries, for choosing yourself. Is that what I did? That's exactly what you did. 6 months later, I signed a lease on a 1-bedroom apartment in a nicer neighborhood. $1,650 a month more than I'd been paying, but I could afford it now. My business was grossing $140,000 a year. I'd hired a part-time assistant. Started working with bigger clients. Raised my rates again. I had savings. Real savings. $32,000 in an emergency fund. $15,000 in investments. A retirement account I actually contributed to. I had a life that was mine. Built by me. Funded by me. Controlled by me. And I was happy. Alex helped me move into the new apartment. We spent the weekend painting the bedroom, assembling furniture, making it feel like home. On Sunday night, we ordered pizza and sat on my new couch, the one I'd bought myself, with my own money from my useless freelance career. 2 new beginnings, Alex said, raising his beer. To choosing myself, I countered. We clinked bottles. My phone buzzed. My new phone, the one only important people had the number 2. Aunt Kara, heard you moved? Want to come to dinner next week? Just me, Jim, and the kids. No drama, I promise. I texted back, I'd love that. Alex read over my shoulder. Family dinner. Chosen family, I corrected. The ones who actually care. What about your parents? Your sister? What about them? Do you think you'll ever reconcile? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Maybe someday. When they've proven they see me differently. When they've done the work to understand what they did. When an apology means something more than I'm sorry you caught me. And if that never happens, then it never happens. And I'll be okay. Because I was okay. Better than okay. Primera? Agoy Sifri. 1 year later, Vanessa called me from the parking lot of our parents' house. Quick warning, Natalie's here, and she's asking about you. What's she asking? If I've seen you, how you're doing. If I know how to reach you. What did you say? That you're doing great, and that's all I'm sharing. Thank you. She looks rough, Meg, like she's been through it. Good. Really. Good. She needed to go through it. She needed to face consequences. She needed to learn that actions have impacts. She's working retail, living at Tomasingo. She seems humbad. I'm happy for her growth journey. Genuinely. But it doesn't change anything. Fair enough. Vanessa paused. For what it's worth, I'm proud of you. You could have let them pull you back in. You could have felt guilty. But you didn't. I felt guilty for about 6 weeks. Then my therapist helped me understand that guilt was just conditioning. Years of being told that setting boundaries makes me selfish. Are you still in therapy? Every week. It's helping. Good. You deserve support. After we hung up, I looked around my apartment. The 1 bedroom with the big windows and the nice kitchen. The place that was entirely mine. I built this. With my useless freelance work, with my embarrassing career, with my own 2 hands and my own determination, and nobody could take it from me. 2 years later, Thanksgiving, I spent Thanksgiving at Aunt Carol and Uncle Jim's house. Alex was there, now my fiancé as of 2 months ago, Vanessa, and her husband. A few cousins. 12 people total. No Natalie. No mom and dad. They'd been invited. I'd made it clear through Aunt Carol that I wouldn't attend if they came. They chose not to come. I'm sorry, Aunt Carol had said. I know that's hard. It's not hard. It's reality. They chose Natalie's feelings over my boundaries. That tells me everything I need to know. They feel guilty? Good. They should feel guilty. Maybe someday that guilt will turn into actual change. But until it does, I'm choosing my peace. Dinner was wonderful. No one criticized my career. No one pitied my choices. No one made me feel small. When Aunt Carol asked me to say what I was grateful for, I didn't hesitate. I'm grateful for chosen family. 4 boundaries. 4 boundaries. For learning that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. Uncle Jim raised his glass. 2, walking away from bullshit. Everyone laughed and drank. Alex squeezed my hand under the table. This was family. Not the one I was born into, but the one I'd built. And it was enough. Epilogue. 5 years later. I'm 36. Now, married to Alex for 3 years. We bought a house together, a real house, with 3 bedrooms and a yard. My business is thriving. I'm making $180,000 a year. I've got a team of 4 people. We're working with Fortune 500 clients. My useless freelance career became a successful agency. My embarrassing life became a life I'm proud of. I still don't talk to Natalie. Or my parents. They send occasional emails. Birthday cards. Attempts at reconciliation that feel more about their guilt than my healing. I don't respond. Because here's what I learned. You can't have a relationship with people who only valued you as a resource. You can't rebuild trust with people who mocked your generosity. Some bridges need to stay burned. Not out of anger. Not out of revenge. But out of self-preservation. I choose me now. Every day. In every decision. And that's the best gift I've ever given myself. Last week, I got a message from an unknown Instagram account. The message was from Natalie. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I saw your company featured in Forbes. I wanted to say I'm proud of you, and I'm sorry for everything. I hope you're happy. You deserve to be. I read it 3 times. Then, I deleted it without responding. Because Natalie doesn't get to be proud of me. She doesn't get to celebrate my success. She gave up that right when she called me useless. The people who get to celebrate my success, they're here, in my house, eating dinner at my table, laughing at my jokes. They're the people who saw my worth before I had a Forbes feature. They're my real family, and they're more than enough.